I need the mic. I do. Oh, thank you, man. You don't pay me enough for this. Anyway, are we live? Oh man, I'm gonna get banned again. Sorry. I'm supposed to say that on the live. All right. So, चल बाणी पढ़ लिये कोस्ता साडा फायदा हो जाऊगा इत्थे आए दा सतनाम श्री वाहिगुरु साहिब जी एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभਉ निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभਉ निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभਉ निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभਉ निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभਉ निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच वाहेगुरु 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 तिन बेदियन की कुल बिखे प्रगटे नानक राय सब सिखन को सुख दे जह ते भय सहाय तेग बहादुर सिमरिया कर नौ निध आवे धाए वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. So since last week, for some reason they've made this wire shorter, so that's why I didn't want to use the mic, so it's a bit uncomfortable for me using it. Is it warm in here? Is it just me? Just turn the AC on if you can. So today is Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib's Gurpurab. Is that right? Am I right today? Yes? Alright, so this week the interaction is you're going to have to shout out. We're not doing the group work, we're not doing the easy bit, because the people who came first last week got punished for being on time. So you're all going to get punished collectively now. You're all going to have to join in. So this PowerPoint, thankfully, was one I prepared earlier. So 4 years ago, that's why I got the dates confused last week. 4 years ago was the 400 years of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur's Avatar Dihara. So the Prakash Gurpurab. So when that was around, I think it was Sri Guru Granth Sahib Academy, possibly, might be someone else. So the artwork that you're going to see, that's why Sarablu Arts. And I think it was the Guru Granth Sahib Academy. If I'm wrong, please forgive me. They created a booklet of all Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur's history. So all the artwork you'll see in this PowerPoint is from there. And I probably did a copy and paste job from that booklet. So that booklet will probably get rehashed this year for the 350 years of Maharaj's Shaheedi Diyara in November. So the talk is based upon that. But then also, when I delivered this talk, it was done for a kids' camp at Guru Nanak Gurdwara, Caldamore, Walsall. So the interaction was for kids, but we're all kids of the Guru, so it doesn't matter. You're not 7 years old, you can still do the interaction. So we're still going to do the interaction. So it might feel a bit obscure, some of the interaction that we're going to do. But bear with me. And I'm still ill for some reason from last week. I still haven't got better. But the painting's finished now at home, officially today, a week later. Anyway, let's have a look where we are. So on the VR goggles, for anyone who came late, we've got the actual Guru Ke Mahal Gurdwara, which we're going to mention. You can actually fully immerse into the Gurdwara and see where Maharaj Prakash was done, where Maharaj was Avatar happened, so where they were born. So who was Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib? So on that side of the screen, you can see like the family tree. Yeah, how it works out and how it comes to Guru Sahib. So Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur is there, isn't that there? Yeah. So where all the blank faces are. Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur in the middle. So the 9th Guru of the Sikhs, youngest son of the 6th Guru, Chacha Ji of the 7th Guru, Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib, Grand Chacha of the 8th Guru. So that's where we get the word Baba before Bakala, which you'll hear about later on. Father of the 10th Guru, husband of Mata Gujari, grandfather of the Char Sahibzade. So the family tree is quite in depth, and then it goes back all the way to Guru Amar Das anyway, if you follow it through. Yeah. So birth, so Guru ke Mail Gurdwara, 1 second, there it is, yeah. So this is actually the Gurdwara where they were born, yeah. So this is actually the ancestral home of the Gurus in Amritsar. So the whole of the city of Amritsar starts from this Gurdwara Sahib. ठीक है? So in this photo that we've got on there, this is an old photo, you can see the khu, which is there, that little small structure on the floor. That's actually a Pratana khu. They've knocked it down at the moment. They're saying they're rebuilding it. But also within the complex, which I've never seen, but people tell me used to be there, used to be the house of Baba Buddha Ji and Bhai Gurdas Ji as well. So this building, which is the Gurdwara side, that was the house of the Guru. So from Chote Pasha, Padme Pasha, Sheme Pasha, that was their house. So Nome Pasha's Janam is actually in the basement of this Gurdwara, which is this now. So this is a recent photo we've taken in the last couple of months. So when you go onto that, you actually get immersed into the whole building. You can see this inside. So we've got a 360 of it, which we've not released on the internet anyway at the moment. The problem with the VR is you have to buy the most expensive VR goggles. You can't use normal £20 ones. So that's why we don't really want to make it open to the bunch. We don't want people spending that much money really as well on the goggles. So there's a bit of issues with opening it up at the moment. Anyway, back to this. It's born to Mata Nanaki, Amritvilla, at that Gurdwara Sahib. So Amritsar city gets founded there. That's where the city starts from, that Gurdwara Sahib as well, yeah? Only Guru Sahib to be born in Amritsar. Did not speak much, spent time meditating. No attachment to materialism from a young age. They were a scholar. I'm not sure, can you hear me at the back? I don't need to move the mic, I'm all right. Scholar, poet, musician and a soldier. Mastered many languages including Gurmukhi, Persian, Sanskrit and Arabic. So Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur, which we've not covered in this PowerPoint, they actually spend a lot of time to the east of India, so where modern day Bangladesh is. So Dhaka and other places, there's actual Gurdwara there where Maharaj spent time. So when Guru Gobind Singh's Avtar happens in Patna Sahib, Maharaj is actually in that area. And so some of the Shabads use the local dialect as well. Some of the words are from that dialect as well. Taught by many great Guru Sikhs such as Bhai Gurdas Ji, Baba Bidhi Chand and Baba Buddha Ji. So this is the Sangat in Gurukar that they have around them. And gave his robes and gold bracelets to a poor boy in young age as well. So where Guru Granth Sahib's Prakash is here, that's actually what they say is the Janamasthanana of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib. So in recent years, so I've got photos from 2009, it was quite simple. So recent years they've added all this like flashy, I don't know what to call it, facades. But then they've replaced the balcony with a gold one as well. So why do we know Maharaj as Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur? So Tegh means sword, Bahadur means warrior. So at the Battle of Kartarpur, so Kartarpur in Jalandhar, yeah, so near Jalandhar. So when you go past Jalandhar on the way to Amritsar, Kartarpur is probably the next share that you get afterwards on the GT road. So Kartarpur, that Kartarpur. So Guru Har Gobind Sahib leaves Amritsar and goes and lives at Kartarpur for a while as well. And at 14 years age, they fought with the Tegh and showed great horse and sword skills in this battle. So Maharaj is depicted there in white, Vastar. Some say that their name was Tyagmal, but only one historical source mentions that. So it's historically contested that their name really was Tyagmal or not. So anyone with the name Tyag in the room, sorry to disappoint you, yeah? But so that's historically contested. One historical source is probably Gyani Gyan Singh, because a lot of new things that Gyani Gyan Singh brought about which don't exist in history. I'm guessing, yeah, I might be wrong, but so a lot of people contest that. They say Maharaj's name was always Tegh Bahadur. And at birth they held on to the kirpans of Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib, so they're repeating their kirpana. So they held them straight away. So this is where it gets hard. We need to do 1 minute Simran. all of us. That's including people who are watching it live or watch it back. So with my croaky voice now, you're all going to have to do 1 minute of Simran. Everyone close their eyes. Sorry I couldn't get a Kirtani to do this like Raj and no Gurpreet. Yeah, I haven't got those contacts. Oh, someone needs to time it as well. I don't want to do 2 minutes. Because someone put a stopwatch on. Yeah. So whoever does the stopwatch is going to have to shout out louder WhyGuru than mine.
At the end.
Yeah, at the end, yeah. I can't set alarm, no, I'm not that. I've got an analog watch. But then you just shout at me. We're going to do this a couple of times. We're not doing it once as well. I think it's 3 minutes, yeah. ठीक है, तैयार हैं? Oh, Baba, hurry up, man. The live's running.
Sorry, I got to change it.
All right, correct, all right. Oh, we're going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. WhyGuru, 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 WhyGuru. All right. Write down what thoughts came to your mind when doing Simran. So that's what you're supposed to do now. So you can get your phones out if you want. If not, we can skip this bit and just go to the next bit, but you're going to have to do another 1 minute of Simran. Yeah? So we'll skip to this, yeah? So anyone who's watching at home can pause YouTube or whatever afterwards. So, there's a reason we're doing this, which we'll explain later. So now we want you to do 1 minute of Simran and imagine Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib. So if your mind wanders and you think you're sitting in Smethwick in a stinky lecture theatre and it's sweaty, then you need to think of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur and how they did 26 years of Bhakti and Apura. Are we okay, yeah? 1 minute, yeah? WhyGuru, 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 WhyGuru. Right now, 1 minute Simran in silence. So all we're going to hear at the end is his alarm going off. ठीक है? And in silence, so you still got to think of Gurmantra in your mind. But if your mind wanders, bring it back. If that's through imagery of Maharaj or the sound of WhyGuru, if you can hear it in your head, however you can do it, try internalizing it. We're good to go? Because this is a different one, isn't it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. WhyGuru Ji Ka Khalsa, WhyGuru Ji Ki Fateh. So we did 3 different things there. The first minute was normal. So if you can't concentrate, you have to do it out loud. You might have to internalize your breath somehow as well to stop your mind racing. The second method was about where's your anchor. If you meditate, who's your anchor? When you start meditation, who do you matha take to? And if you need to bring your mind back, who's going to inspire you to come back? And the third one is about advancing in your Simran so you can actually do it silently. So when you go to Gurdwara, the supposed Gurmukhs are usually the quietest ones who are sitting in a samadhi. They're not usually the ones screaming on the stage, yeah, or whatever it may be in whatever situation, yeah. So how did Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur become the Guru? They meditated for 26 years at Bakala. So I'm saying Bakala because he only becomes Baba Bakala after they get the Guruship. So initially it's called Bakala. So Bakala is actually near Mehta, the Taksal headquarters. So it's on the GT road again going to Amritsar. So after you go past Kartarpur and past Bias, then it's a bit further on. Before possibly, or I don't know if it's, I think it's after Subhanpur as well. I might be wrong. You can look it up on the map. So Guru Har Krishan Sahib, the 8th Guru, was in Bangla Sahib in Delhi. And that's where they left their Sarir. So on the calendars today, it says it's Jyoti Jyot today of 8th Parchar as well. And when they were asked where the next Guru is, they said the words Baba Bakala. Now Guru Tegh Bahadur was their Baba in Rishtadari. Yeah, so they were their grandfather. So because Guru Har Rai's Chacha was Maharaj, so the son obviously Baba laga there, yeah. So that's how the Rishtadari works. So that's why they said Baba at Bakala, Hana. So, activity. I don't know how we're going to do this in the room, but let's try it. Yeah. You have been appointed by the Guru to lead the Sangat of Smedhik. God bless us all. Yeah. But another 22 people pop up claiming to be the official representative. I am the Pradhan, you are the fake Pradhan. Yeah. What would you do in this situation? Discuss in groups, yeah, and we'll feedback. So just do with the people next to you, yeah. And I expect violence, yeah, with you Smedhik people. You got 60 seconds, yeah, because we've got to do this quick fire. WhyGuru Ji Ka Khalsa, WhyGuru Ji Ki Fateh. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go on then, Gopi, because you choose violence and all. Go on.
Assassination and torture.
Assassination and torture of who? All the other 22 people.
And then torture before they die.
Torture them before they die. Right. We can't, yeah, officially on live internet condone violence. Yeah. So this is a completely hypothetical situation. Someone saying they would do that. Let me clarify for the internet. We are not saying that you should murder people or do anything. We do not promote violence. We are a very peaceful faith. Anyway, sorry. Anyone else?
I think you should ask them to officially try to prove the fact that they are.
Okay. So Benji knows the real story, so she's giving you the backup story.
No,
but anyway. No, you're getting the right answer, that's why.
Oh, okay.
So don't worry about it. But so watch, I'm saying this for the benefits of the camera because people at home might not hear this. So what Benji said is that she would set up some tests to check how the other 22 people have been appointed or not appointed by the Guru. So some sort of verification process. Hanji Baba ji.
The real Guru wouldn't argue about it.
Huh?
The real Guru wouldn't argue about it. He knows it himself.
Yeah, no, the real Guru wouldn't argue about it. That's true. But what would you do in this situation? You're not the Guru. I said leader of Smethwick.
Yeah, the leader of Smithwick, then he wouldn't argue.
If he was a true leader.
Yeah.
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਸਾਡਾ 5-10 ਵਾਰ ਜਲੇ ਪਿਆ ਹੋ ਜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਤਾਂ ਕੰਮ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਗਿਆਨੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਣ ਜਾਵੇ ਕੋਈ ਸਾਡੇ ਤਾਂ ਲੱਤਾਂ ਖਿੱਚਦੇ ਆ ਵੋਟ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਾਓ anyone else yes Baba ji
Ask the senator who wants them to represent him.
so he's saying this is a Gurmukhi answer but it's wrong as well so he's saying ask the Sangat who they want isn't that just an election how would you do it how would you do it
Get the Sangha to select Panj or
so the Guru's appointed one person and you're going to select Panji Pyare to do what
to select their representative, who they want.
You got it all wrong. See, the scenario is you have been appointed by the Guru to lead the Sangat of Smethwick. You've already been appointed. 22 fakes have popped up and you're saying select Panji Pyare to select the leader, but the leader's already been selected. Do you get it? Catch 22, isn't it? If anyone knows the history of Guru Tegh Bahadur, you know Panji's already given the right answer here, Hannah. But anyway, Hanji. 1 second, sorry. Say that again.
I'd have a free for all, so win at all costs.
Free for all, win at all costs. What does that mean? I'm old, Hannah. You have to explain in Buddha terms. Not in, like your mum and dad, like your Baba, Hannah. I'm like that age, yeah?
So it's like every man for themselves.
Every man for themselves.
Kill each other basically.
Oh, so you're saying Royal Rumble. But does that get you to the person who was appointed? Or is that because the Guru's gave that leader so much Shakti, he'll be able to kill everyone else in a fight? Win in a fight, not kill, yeah, sorry. Vocabulary wrong. Yeah? Alright. Hanji Pedji.
I'd say take a hukamnama.
Take a hukamnama. So if the hukamnama comes, Santa ke karaj aap kloy har kam karavan aya ram, what does that mean?
I get the Gyani to translate.
That just means God's here to sort out the karaj of the Sant. Which who's the real Sant? Who's the real leader in Smethwick?
So who are you going to prove to? Like he's been appointed. Who is he proving to the Sangha? To the people?
I don't know. My scenario is a bit rubbish in it, but
It's hard to prove to people.
yeah, no, it is. That's the whole point. So, are we done? Yeah? Yeah, go on.
Just get the काम done.
Huh?
If you're the appointed person of the Guru card,
Yeah.
just keep doing the work, right? Because the fake people, they'll get bored of it after a while. I think Jala got man, and they'll get weeded out.
Okay, again, a Gurmukhi answer, but in reality, it doesn't work like that. So he's saying, if you're the true leader, just carry on doing the seva, and the fakes will all fall over. But what if the Goluk's £5 million? Then you got a problem, haven't you? Yeah? जिथे गोलक कोई नहीं उत्थे कोई प्रधान की लड़ाई नहीं होती उत्थे भावा तू बन जा जिथे गोलक उत्थे चक्कर पैंदा yeah why do you think someone tried to shoot someone outside Darbar Sahib what do you think that was all about anyway so if you go back to the history of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur so again you got to remember contextually this was done at a kids camp Hannah, but we're all kids yeah so I got the kids to do these activities to then like they can hit home what the actual history of Guru Sahib so Makhan Shah was a trader at sea. So what you got to realise is there was possibly Sikhs coming to the UK back at this time. So we've searched the historical records and we've done some digging to try proving there were Sikhs in the UK. We've got to the point to proving that there was actual Indian traders in the UK at this point, yeah? So if you think Makhan Shah was at sea, we don't know how far at sea. Let me be clear about that. Yeah? So we don't know where he really was. So he's at sea, there's a strong storm, he believes in the Guru, his boat's going to capsize, he's going to die in this storm. He's done a ardas with full Sharda to Maharaj, save me. And if you save me, being the great Guru Sikh he was, promise the Guru some money. Yeah? So he promises 500 gold coins as beta if you get saved. So he does that, and when he gets back to India, he then goes to Delhi. So off this slide it's missed off. So he goes to Delhi, finds out Sri Guru Harkishan Sahib has left the earth, and their last words were Baba Bakala. So then he sets off to Bakala. So at this point it's Bakala, not Baba Bakala, yeah? So he sets off to Bakala to find the Guru. Now this is where what Benji said, the test. Yeah? So when he gets there, because the word got out, the Guru Harkrishna Sahib said, Baba is at Bakala, the next Guru is at Bakala. So what happened is 22 people set thrones to say they're the next Guru. ठीक है? And some of these were legitimate claims in the sense that, you look at the bloodline. So mere chache tae kar de, mere pend de bande, whatever, yeah? So it's that sort of thing. So there's people who've actually got, like, your Maharaja Ranjit Singh's family and the Sandhwalia claim and all that, Hannah. So some of these people weren't just like someone out of Phagwara who just turned up and thought, I'll be the Guru. Yeah? So some of these people actually could make some legitimate claim, even though they're all fake. So now the only person who knew at this point, yeah, so underneath this, which isn't covered in the slide, and I might be historically incorrect, yeah, after Baba Buddha Sahib, every Guru was appointed with a Nariyal, and the procedure was done by Baba Buddha Sahib's son after Baba Buddha Sahib. So from Satme Pasha. So somewhere in the story, Baba Buddha Sahib's son must know, because Baba Buddha Sahib's family had a var that wherever the Gurus, they'll always know. Yeah? So either at this point, when it happens, he's already given the tilak and the naril and it's done, the process of becoming the next Guru, or it's done after this, where we're going to go in the story now. But that definitely happens anyway from Baba Buddha Sahib's son. ठीक है? So, Makhan Shah, Lubana, turns up to Bakala and finds 22 Gurus. So then he's stuck in this quandary of what we just done as an activity. Who do I now matha take to who's the true Guru? He's the only one that knows he promised 500 gold coins. So he then goes round to each of these 22 and he puts a coin down, and he puts 5 coins down instead of 500. ठीक है? And each one he went to, they just all accepted. So he knew they're the fake one. Now what happens is, I'm not sure where I'm going in this. It's still on this slide. Worries because I'm not talking off the slide. So whatever's on the slide, I'm not actually following it. But what happens then is, he's been round and he knows that none of them are the true Guru, because the true Guru would have said, where's the rest of the 495? So then he's at a quandary, because like, where is this Guru? So Guru Tegh Bahadur at this point isn't set by Takht Posh, isn't sitting on a gaddi, isn't saying Minnu Matha Teko me Guru. He's just sitting in his house in the Pura of Baba Bakala and hiding away. Yeah? So then Makhan Shah finds out that in the bloodline of the Gurus, there's Guru Hargobind Sahib's youngest son meditating in a house. Then he goes to that house in the Bala of the Guru. Then he matha takes, and Maharaj says, Tu 500 rakhiyan, tu 500 kya sega? So this artist impression is, Maharaj actually got his Bera Parana, his ship. But what they say is that Maharaj's shoulder actually got bruised as well. So Guru Sahib in that one there at the top is showing his shoulder bruised as well. Yeah. So then Guru Sahib says, Tu baki 500, tu kya segana? And then Guru Sahib says, like, still don't tell anyone. And Makhan Shah says, eh nahi main kaam kar sakda. Yeah. So he runs on the roof and says, Guru Ladore, which means I found the Guru. Then he declares it. And then Maharaj is like accepted as the Guru. But then within this story, which we're not covering today, Shaheed Masand also fires a bullet to try killing Nome Pasha as well. Within this as well. And the Gursikhs also get Guru Granth Sahib, the Pehla Sroop, off the Tir Maliya, and Nome Pasha returns that Sroop to them as well. So the Tir Maliya from Guru Sahib's family were a break-off shoot, and to this day they're still a break-off. They've still got the first Sroop of Guru Granth Sahib, the Kartarpuri Beer. So in terms of Maharaj's contribution, in terms of Gurbani, we covered some of this last week, and so I'm not going to read this out. We've done this in last week's talk, and so you can look at that. But in terms of the theme of the Shabds, the detachment from the world, awakening to falseness of the world, and waking up to the reality of God, that's the underlying theme. So if you think Maharaj sat in the Pura for 26 years, did all this bhakti, from those 26 years, you've got to realise it's who's coming after those 26 years. It's not just about their Guruship, it's about who's to follow. Guru Gobind Singh and the Sahibzade and the Shaheedi and everything else is going to follow. So that bhakti has got to be seen in that reflection as well. So in terms of the Guru's lives, Nome Pasha is the one who did the most bhakti in Guru form. So there is talk of in Sarablo Granth and other Sroops that Nome Pasha is actually an old Bhagat, and Dushta Daman gets born out of nothing just to protect him. So Dushta Daman is seen as a Shakti of God. So that's Guru Gobind Singh in their last life. I'm not going to go into that because there's conflicting views on the internet and how people do the katha. But I've heard that throughout my childhood, Hannah. So this was like 40 years ago, whatever, Hannah. Slok Mala Nava is the last Shabad in Guru Granth Sahib, you could say, Hannah. So there's a few Shabads after that, but in terms of a composition, a length one, Hannah. Slok Mala Nava, if you listen to Slok Mala Nava attentively at the end of an Akhand Path or a Sahaj Path, you actually get the reward of reading the whole of the Akhand Path or Sahaj Path. Yeah? So it's like an easy get out golden bullet for us because we're Kal Jugi Jeev, yeah? The only person who sits there for the whole of the Akhand Path is the, the water bottle that you have for the Amrit and the Nariyal, yeah? We don't do that, yeah? But if we sit there for a Slok Mala Nava and do the easy bit, it's only been a half an hour, sit attentively, yeah? We'll get the whole of the reward of the part. So if you do that, yeah, I want 10% now because you've all heard me say it. Anyway. So there's a lot of fall in that as well. So, and if you look at the earth, like let's say you get depressed. We all get depressed. We live in the UK, depression life here. So you get depressed, read Slok Mala Nava. You get down with the wills, read Slok Mala Nava. Think of Navi Maharaj, yeah, and what they went through from the start to the end as well, which we're going to do in this talk. So, okay, here we go again, yeah. So this is another fight, yeah. So you go to visit your family home. Can you read that on the screen? The font's a bit dodgy, isn't it? Alright, just listen to me carefully then if you can't read it, yeah? You go to visit your family home, not the house you live in, but your cousins shut the doors and don't let you in. Yeah? They say you are not a good person. I know some of you can relate to this. And will not be allowed entry. With you, you have an army of followers who are willing to do anything. What would you do in this scenario? Discuss in groups. Are we ready? Are we ready? Alright, you know what comes to my mind? You lot are probably all too young for this, but the older people might remember this, yeah? There used to be a film called Molla Jat. Yeah? When you get home, Google that film, yeah? It's just literally two guys who fight with like axes. It's a Pakistani movie as well, yeah? And in every film, like there's 3 films, I think, or like 4 sequels or something, they just literally stand there and say, don't get that, and they're just like axing each other, and they're still alive, and then they're doing dijung, dijung, and all this. But anyway, that's what comes to my mind. Go on, real answers. Anyone? Anyone brave? Hanji?
I'd stay outside the house.
Suk, did you give her this answer?
No.
You sure? You sure? I don't trust you. Anyway, so she's saying she'd do a protest outside. Sit in outside. One second. We got the Brahmgyani at the back. Hanji Babaji, what you got? What you got for me, bro?
Break down the door and leave the money for the door at the doorstep.
Why would you break the door down?
Because I want to get in.
No, bro, you've got the scenario wrong. I'll leave it, man. I don't want to do your best, man. I called you a Brahmgyani. All right. Yes, Guppy.
If you got army, why don't you just raid the place?
So you just basically agree with the kid, yeah? So just smash the door down and just go in there, yeah? So, okay, so we've said you've been locked out, your cousins are not letting you in, so the scenario, 2 solutions have come, break the door down. One solution is sit in, protest peacefully outside the door, yeah? and I'm just getting visions of Maula Jat smashing, axing. Yeah, Hanji.
I got a proper.
No, I'm not talking to you. Cool it, bro. This one here, Hanji.
I say it's my family house, so I kick them out.
How would you do it though? Because these lot have shows and violence, and how would you do it? Just say, grow, bro.
Yeah,
Just say, get out. I've got my boys.
just say F off, get out.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Anyone else? He says forget off. Not. It doesn't mean F off. Doesn't mean anything else. It's clarification for the camera here. Hanji.
Leave.
Leave.
Yeah, leave.
Just leave.
Yeah, why do you need your family? You got followers?
Why do you need followers?
Why do you need the family house? You mean? Yeah, that's yeah. Anyone else? Baba ji, bas kar hone. Chal go on.
Use my slide lock the door.
Oh, look at that. Oh man, he's getting developed now, yeah. He said get his slide out and pick the lock and then just raid the joint. So he's gonna wait till it's 12 o'clock at night, 1 a.m. at night, and then just do the slide. Alright. So Guru Tegh Bahadur, after becoming the Guru, goes back to Amritsar, not to Guru Ke Mahal, to actual Darbar Sahib. Try visiting there, yeah? So what you got to realise is, from Panjਵੇਂ Pasha's time and Chhਵੇਂ Pasha's time, the people who actually were running Darbar Sahib afterwards were against the Gurus. Yeah, so Priti Chand's family and people like that, yeah? So they're actually against Guru Sahib. So even in terms of Sikh history, we know Masarangar, other things, even committees, even what goes on today, sometimes they might not be the best Sikhs running the Asthan. ठीक है? So the Masand who is running it, Harji, is the grandson of Priti Chand. So Priti Chand is the oldest brother of Guru Arjan Dev Ji and the oldest son of Guru Ram Das. And they'd had a loss of income. So they weren't making much money anyway. But then they shut the doors. So Name Pasha wasn't allowed to enter the Asthan. Yeah, so Maharaj has got their low Lashkar, they're the Guru, they've got their army with them, they've got everything. They're Tegh Bahadur from the age of 14 could fight in wars and battles and win. They've done 26 years of Bhakti. They could just open the doors, they could just knock everyone out, they could do anything they wanted, didn't they? Guru Sahib sat under a tree near to Akal Takht Sahib, and there's a Gurdwara there called Thara Sahib now. So this is the modern day Thara Sahib, that's been rebuilt now, yeah? So inside, there's a basement downstairs. So the reason I've done these two photos on the screen, that's nearby, but then, you know, from Akal Takht Sahib, so the Akal Takht Sahib's on the left, the Nishan Sahib's are on the right here. So it's just to give you an idea of where Thara Sahib is. So I spent at different points in my life, 3 months, 1.5 months in Amritsar, actually in Amritsar, living there. And I know kids who live in Amritsar who don't know the history of this Gurdwara, and they're from Shaheed Parwars. So they're not even like, you know, your normal none of the mill. These are like family of Sant Kartar Singh and other stuff that don't know. So it's like, even though they're there, they don't know history, they don't know anything. It's just something, it's like your local Gurdwara, you just go there. So what they say now, which I don't know how much truth is, yeah? So in the current building, they've put this little box there, yeah? So in the Gurdwara, there's a tree, Pratan tree, where Maharaj supposedly sat. So the tree comes into the Diwan as well, the stump of the tree, and it goes down into the basement. In the past, in the basement, anyone used to turn up with a bhajan to do Kirtan. I haven't seen that in recent times, yeah? So it's literally like a known thing that you could turn to Thara Sahib and do Kirtan. You want it downstairs in the Pura. Now, they're saying this is the Puratan Thara Sahib. So they're saying this is where Maharaj possibly sat. But it's literally just some bricks. You can't work out what's going on there, Hannah. So they've got this boxed off now. So there's a jinda on there. So we took a photo of that. So that's what Maharaj did, Hannah. So in terms of what we thought, Maula Jat, pick the lock, yeah, do the sit-in protest, yeah, they just left. They sat there for a while, but then left. ठीक है? So the thing is, in Maharaj's life, you got to see compassion as well. So they chose a different path at every juncture, even getting shot at. They didn't tell the Gursikhs to kill Shi, Masand and stuff like that, Hannah. So they chose peace over violence at every step that they could, even though they had all the powers ingressed in them, Hannah. So why did they leave Anandpur Sahib for Delhi? So this is like jumping, the story is jumping from different historical points. So Name Pasha spends time as the Guru in the east of India, comes to Patna, leaves Guru Gobind Singh after a week or so, after 5 or 6 years as well, let me be clear, yeah? They didn't come for the avatar, they stayed in the east doing Parchar. Then when Guru Gobind Singh's about 5 or 6, they come to Patna, see him, and then leave to go to Anandpur Sahib. So initially they purchase Kirtpur Sahib, the land for Kirtpur Sahib, which is near Anandpur Sahib. Then they purchased Anandpur Sahib land, and then they set up the sort of beginnings of Anandpur Sahib. So Guru Gobind Singh comes from Patna Sahib to Sadakiya. What's the one near us?
No, I don't know.
Come on, boys, man. What is it? What's it called? I can't remember what it's called now. So this is Guru Gobind Singh's Nanake Pend, Hana. It's near where I go. It's near Ambala, Hana. The Gurdwara is. What's it called? Oh man, I can't. It's left my mind. But anyway, Guru Gobind Singh goes there. That's their Nanake, Hana. So that's Mata Gujri's Pend. It's near Ambala. That Gurdwara. That what was his name? Gurbakh Singh did his last starvation thing there before he jumped off the pillar. Lucknow Sahib, sorry, there, Musi Chalya Damag. Lucknow Sahib, yeah. So Maharaj came to Lucknow Sahib. Nome Pasha is in Anandpur Sahib. Then from Lucknow Sahib, I think Maharaj goes to another place near Ropar, and then they go to Anandpur Sahib. So the actual time the Guru Gobind Singh spends with Nome Pasha in real years or anything is very limited. So Guru Gobind Singh's guardian from birth really was Mama Kirpal Chand. So that's who really is like in a real physical sense and physical like nearity, and as a male in their family is Mama Kirpal Chandana. And so what happens is there's a it's like this slide's wrong, sorry. It's Kirpa Ram, isn't it? The thingy. So Kirpal Chand's wrong, the slide's wrong here. So Kirpa Ram was a Pandit from Kashmir. So what was happening was Aurangzeb was converting the Muslims en masse, and he was saying, the Hindus en masse, sorry, to Islam, and his forced conversion, saying, if you don't convert, we'll kill you. So they were literally en masse murdering a lot of Hindus, and so the Pandits, Kirpa Ram had a bit of Kirpa on him, so he actually was the Bhagat, and he had darshan of some Devi or whatever you're going to say, some form of God, saying, go to Guru Tegh Bahadur, and he'll save your faith. That's the only way you're going to get saved now. Now, the Kashmiri Pandits were famous across the Hindu faith for being like spiritual masters in that sense and leading scholars of their faith. So they bring a delegation to Anandpur Sahib to meet Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib. So Kirpa Ram says that there's no one greater than you, Maharaj. Can you please like intervene with Aurangzeb? And Guru Gobind Singh then says that, Maharaj, there's no one bigger than you. If they're saying someone needs to save the faith, then you're the biggest saint in the whole of the world. So Guru Gobind Singh, from his own words, is actually walking his father towards Shaheedi. So Guru Gobind Singh, in the Chronicles, they say about 8-9 years at this point. Some of the historical records really differ on the ages. So it gets messy. So someone will say 8 and 9, some people will say 15 at this point as well. So the historical records, you get really distorted ages, even for the Sahibzada in certain points. And Guru Sahib agrees that if they can convert me, then the whole of the Hindu faith will convert. ठीक है? So Aurangzeb then invites Guru Tegh Bahadur to Delhi. So Aurangzeb realizes that Guru Sahib has accepted this condition and invites him. So this Kirpa Ram, this Pandit who came, his story, yeah, so it's not Kirpal Chand. I don't know if that's my mistake or is the mistake in the document that I copied it from. But Kirpa Ram, what happens with him, Nome Pasha gives Shaheedi, Kirpa Ram takes Amrit and he gets Shaheed in Chamkaur Di Gari. So he's one of the 40 Singhs. You'll see Kirpa Singh in that list. So he still gave his Dain back to Sikh Qawm as well. So he didn't just he actually followed through with everything that comes afterwards as well. Where are we? So Nome Pasha has a conversation with Aurangzeb. So when they go to Delhi, Nome Pasha knows they're going to give Shaheedi first anyway. So Nome Pasha and all the Gurus, they always used to have like a tight circle of like 5 Brahmgyani Guru Sikhs around them at all times. So even like talking about Panj Pyare, but initially as well, apart from Siddha Guru Nanak Dev Ji, generally around the Guru Sahibs, after Guru Nanak Sahib, there's always usually like 5 prominent Guru Sikhs around Maharaj at all times. So Maharaj takes 5 Guru Sikhs with them to Delhi, and then they go to different places on the way as a sort of yatra and visit people's houses. And they'd also given certain people bhajan that we will definitely come to your house. And some people got missed off on this bhajan. So the Maharaj didn't actually go to their house. So when they have the conversation with Aurangzeb, Aurangzeb's trying to like cajole and convince the Guru Hana. So Guru Sahib says this back. So this is like a paraphrase thing, let's say, na. Aurangzeb, we believe that everyone has the right to practice their own religious beliefs at their own free will. So when you look at the Likhta, in terms of Pratan Likhta and the Bhavanja Kavi and Senapati says ke Maharaj is Dharm di Chadar. They don't say Hindi Chadar. There's nothing wrong with saying Hindi Chadar as well, but Dharm di Chadar is more wider. The connotation is to protect all faiths, not just the Hindu faith. So the first Guru, Sikh Guru Nanak Dev Ji, opposed compulsory wearing of the Janu on their own body, and now we oppose the forceful removal of that Janu from the Hindus. So Maharaj is actually saying, even though Sikh Guru Nanak Dev Ji rejected the Janu to say I'm not a Hindu, we still uphold the right and belief that Hindus should be allowed to wear that Janu. So the Janu was actually banned. So if you wore a Janu, you could get corporal punishment or whatever it would be in that time in the state. Your mission is cruel, inhumane, and against the will of God, because we want to make two religions into one. However, the vision of Guru Nanak's house is to create a religion that will protect all. So what he's saying is, in India at the time, the two religions were Hindu and Islam, and he's trying to merge just that everyone into Islam. So get everyone to convert and become one unification of faith. But what Maharaj is saying, our way is that we'll protect everyone, but we'll make our own dharma as well. So we're diversifying into a third school, है ना. So Sri Guru Gobind Singh says that in Ugradanti as well, कि तीसरा पंथ से चलाना, है ना. So Maharaj says that. So our belief and Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur, what they're saying here, like today, the Hindu faith celebrates Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur. Even in Delhi, there's monuments and there's other things built. And Modi will do speeches at Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur saving the Hindus. But then the same state is actually oppressing other minorities in India, attacking Christians, attacking Muslims, changing the law, like the Kaf board law they've just changed in the last few weeks, which is to say that the state can take over any Islamic building which is owned. Yeah? And then they've changed the law in Kashmir as well by writ in terms of the state. They now rule that they don't have Kashmiri elections and stuff. So even though they celebrate, they're not living up to the actual philosophy of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur either. And the other thing I say about the Hindu Rashtra, and they'll be listening to me saying this, yeah, I'll be going to India in a few weeks. Yeah, they say it's a Hindu Rashtra and they celebrate it. Yeah, I can name many places of Hindu pilgrimage where the sarovars are filthy and dirty. There's no dekhbal, there's no seva, there's no nothing going on. So on a mass scale and an international scale, they'll say the Hindu Rashtra is great, but when you go down to it, you can go to any Gurdwara in Punjab, in India, you get langar. They'll let you stay somewhere, it'll be clean. Yeah, their places is just ridiculous, like how bad it can be, unless some sadhu sant of the Hindu panth looks after it, whatever, Hana. So I might start a new mahim of Kar Seva at Hindu asthans to help the Hindu Rashtra, because we help everyone, Hana. Anyway, that's enough for my RSS. So, what would you do? Yeah, let's not choose violence now, yeah, we're getting the talk now, yeah. One of your friends has been arrested and tortured. He's going to be hanged in public. You are in the crowd when the execution is about to take place. What would you do in this scenario? Discuss. 60 seconds, yeah? Are we ready? All right. Can we get 3 different people to speak? Baba, you can't speak. You have to get your sister or your mom, whoever is next to you. You can get them to speak. Someone else needs to speak now. And you can't speak. Hanji, Bibiji, thank you.
I don't know much, but I'm just thinking from a British English point of view, it depends on the reason. Because if the reason is wrong, then he deserves to be hanged.
The reason's right.
He's right.
Yeah. Go on now, carry on with the answer.
Well, the answer would be, well, we're British, so I'd like to think we would stand up and we would, well, it depends actually, do Indians do that? Would we stand up and fight for what's right? That's what I would expect. Everybody should stand up for what's right.
So, Benji's saying we would stand up. How would you fight against this?
I've got a disability.
You're in the public.
Somebody else. I can pick my stick up and have a go.
Okay, sorry. So it's a public execution. What would you do? So the person's actually in the right. They're wrongfully being hanged. No, you can't speak either. He can. No, you can't. He can.
Stand up, stand up. Bob Marley plays the Bob Marley.
Bro, it's not raining here, please. Anyone else?
Why do you tell me what I said?
Go on, Benji, you can speak. Go on.
Okay, so if it was my friend and they would get hanged for no reason at all, I'd rally up my other friends and I'd say, if you're going to hang this person, you can hang all of us at the same time.
I didn't help us.
Oh no, you ain't gonna say that. You get the popcorn out, say Nick's dying, go on, kill him. So Benji's saying, if you're gonna kill that one person, that's his sare nahi marna. Yeah? Which is good. Hanji Babaji, I know you can't help it, go on.
I want to be a protester when I'm older, have a Tarak. So I'm going to go to the front, get my Gurbana and be like, and tell them all about why they're hanging this person for no reason. Yeah.
So 1 second, let's get the scenery right, yeah. So you're gonna walk to the front, you're gonna pull out your Kirtan. You're all wrong. Go on, what's the next part now? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if that don't work, cut the rope and they hang me.
Okay, so he said if that doesn't work, then he'll cut the rope and say hang me instead.
Or hang myself.
See, I had another. I'm not going to say that. Yeah, we don't want to promote suicide on the internet. Yeah. So I had another plan. You see, because I think I'm some sort of special ops operation. Yeah, like you know those adverts you get for Ariel and Daz on the TV and say fat even at 40 degrees. That's me. But anyway, I was thinking get in the crowd and when they're about to hang the person, just snipe at the person who's hanging. Yeah. So I still wouldn't speak up. No, that's what I'm saying. As you know, in this scenario,
You wouldn't speak up.
I don't know, but see, because what it is, in this room and with these scenarios, we can all say what we like. Me and Sukul understand this. In real life, when it's real life and you might get shot or you might get killed, then it changes. In a scenario, we can all say, "Asi Guru Gobind Singh de potya, asi nahi aa karna, Amrit vela alarm baj gaya, soo jo rehn do, bravo, rehn do." Yeah. So it's like, when the Guru's watching, when no one else is watching, if we're the greatest Gursikhs then we might be able to pass these tests in reality. Yeah? But if we're just the t-shirt boys, yeah, then it might not work. So it's like, how do we... So that's why I'm not saying I'd probably do the cowardly thing and try snipering the guy and not actually intervening. I'm being honest, do you know what I mean? I'm not saying I'd be that person who'd go to the front like Babaji at the back and say, "Innu maar do, ja minnu maar do, sare mar do, par asi nahi apna yaar sharna, asi jigri yaar."
I would do that.
Yeah. No, some people really would. Some people, and I'm not denying. Some people who say would follow through.
Sorry, Paji, it's true because कितने संग बैठे थे, Bakala in England as well. But who's helping all those things in the prison in India now? Jaggi, like example, you got Jaggi posters downstairs. But kehna banda uthya say, "Look, listen,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight for you."
Because in reality,
But nobody said
yeah.
anything.
So in reality, it's like, your phone might be tracked. You might be followed. When you go to Delhi airport, I had some family with me today, and they were saying the man got pulled up at immigration, and they said there's an R on the screen, and they're asking me what the R is, and I was like, look, just forget it. Yeah, he was pulled up. They said Hanji Benji, and they said go. That was it. Nothing happened. I said don't worry about it. But the thing is, when it comes to reality, like I've been in India when Gurbani Singh actually died, when he jumped off the Tenki. So Gurbani Singh was a guy who did actual hunger strikes to free the prisoners in India. And on the last one, he jumped off a water tank and died. I went to his funeral. Yeah. And when I went to his funeral, we had to go through, I sat with the Singhs. The Singhs came to see me and they said, "Look, it's only down the road. Do you want to go?" It's literally 10 minutes away from where I was anyway, where I stay. So Gurbani Singh was local to us, and I was like, "Chal, jayan deya, bandaya." So I went with him. We got first, like after 20 minutes driving, we get to a Naka with police. So there's literally 30 police officers. Yeah. Now the Haryana police, yeah, they're all like really dark, yeah, and they all look like they smoke 50 cigarettes a day, yeah, yeah. And generally they're not fat, they're just like really skinny, and they look like, I don't know, man, you know a horror story, yeah, and like the worst looking Indian you can see, that's a Haryana police officer, yeah. And they're standing there, 30 of them, and they go, where you going? And the Singhs on with, they're a bit raggo, yeah, and they go, we're going to his funeral, you can't go. What, you saying we can't go? No, you can't, we can. Yeah, and they said, like, we've had permission off this police officer. So you might watch it on Sikh channel and think all these Singhs got to the funeral. No one got to the funeral. Only ones who got to the funeral who had some approval from the Sarkar to get there. This is the reality on the ground. Yeah. So we said the police officer's name and they said, yeah, you can go. So we got past that one. Got to the next one. Again, we got stopped again. And this time, the Singh we were with, our Jathadar, he just got out the car and started running. We're all in the car like, what happened? We're all like, yeah, like running out the car like, Baba, I can take it. And he's like walking like a bullet, yeah. And then check this out, yeah. So I've described the scene, yeah. And when he's walking up, who's the main officer? He's a Sardar, he's a Singh sitting on a chair. So he's running up to a Singh to have a fight, and the Singh's like, Baba ji ki galiya, yeah. Assi udhe challe hain. And like he mentioned like Bhai Harjinder Singh has got this permission off this guy, whatever, and mentioned the officer's name. We were like, oh man, we're gonna have to fight now. Like I'm there like Blathia thinking, oh man, I don't want no trouble, yeah. I want to go home. So when you see these police officers in reality, you know, like you watch the Kisan Morcha and whatever, Hannah, when you're there, it's very different to watching it with your popcorn at home saying, oh, Singh Sur mein farde, like they're fighting against the water cannons. They could get shot and anything could happen any minute, Hannah. So we went up, we got permission and we went to the funeral, and they didn't do his sanskar that day. And there's me, avoiding all the cameras in the house, avoiding all the Panthak Jathadars who know me personally. No one even knows in the house. I wasn't on any press, wasn't in any media. I was like sitting on a sofa like doing this when someone was to walk past. And they didn't do his sanskar anyway, and he was quite nasty, like his head had been squashed because he'd like jumped off, and I saw his dead body and stuff. But they basically said we're not doing his sanskar until the Sarkar like passes a motion that they're going to press charges against the police or whatever. And then they did the sanskar the next day. So I just got the hell out of there, like, bro, just take me home. I want to get out of here. So in reality, when you see it like, you know, at the cutting edge, it's very different. So even there, like we say, oh, these people are Sarkari, whatever. We all had permission to go. That's how we got there. Other Sikhs who were like normal Gur Sikhs, like just turn up, try drive, no one would have got through. Yeah, so we had to go through literally 50 police officers to get to the funeral. And then there's police officers at the house. Then there's all the Indian media there as well. And there's people doing speeches and stuff like that. And his son's walking past me and things like that. So in terms of this situation, one of your friends in that situation, in that state, yeah, where they very easily don't value human life, it tests your fortitude, Anna, as a person. So what happened is, Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur refused Aurangzeb's conditions to convert, show a miracle, or change Gurbani to make it praise like Muhammad and stuff like that. They usually say things like that, Hannah. But the thing is, Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur didn't agree to any condition that Aurangzeb put forward in terms of doing a deal with the state to save his life. Now, what they describe, Hannah, that actual artist description isn't very accurate, I'd say, Hannah. So really the spikes were quite long. So Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur, they had a cage designed for them to sit in, but if they breathed a bit too much, the spikes would go into them. So the spikes were literally around all of it, and they couldn't like literally move. Yeah, so it's just like you're caged in. If you move a little bit, you get spiked. So that's what it was like, Hannah. Now, so they put Maharaj in the cage to sort of scare them. Then they said to them, look, your Guru Sikhs who've come with you, we're going to torture them to death, and we're going to make you watch. So it's like a tactic, isn't it? First, kill your closest aides and make you watch, and see if you then compromise, Anna. So by Matidas, Satidas, by the Allah, they're the three in this painting, Anna. So one was wrapped in cotton wool, burnt alive. One was sawn in half. One was boiled alive, Anna. So these three Gur Sikhs, when they gave their Shaheediyan, they all did different jobs. One of them does Japji Sahib, one of them does Sukhmani Sahib. I'm not sure what the third one does, Anna, might be Mool Mantra. But basically, within their bodies, while they're getting tortured and while their bodies are getting split in half, you can still hear Gurbani coming out. So there was a Gur Sikh called Gurudev Singh Usmanwala, who was part of the Pantha committee from 1986, a modern day Shaheed Singh, Anna. They say when he got tortured to death, you could hear Mool Mantra coming from his body as well. And they say things like that by Anok Singh Babbar as well. So it's like history does repeat itself. And so like I said at the start, there was 5 Guru Sikhs. So the other 2 Guru Sikhs, Bhai Uday Ji and Bhai Gurditta. So Bhai Gurditta is the grandson of Baba Buddha Ji, like we said before. ठीक है? So Bhai Uday Ji and Bhai Gurditta are sent back to Anandpur Sahib. Now Bhai Gurditta is given some lines, oh, it's not in this, I've not done in this, sorry, I apologise. So Bhai Gurditta is given Panktiyan from Slok Mala Nova. Yeah? So, Bal Shut Gyo Bandhan Pare, Kashu Na Hoti Upaye. Yeah? So those Panktiyan are sent to Guru Gobind Singh as a question. Then when there's no help in the world and there's no support, what can we do? Yeah? And then Guru Gobind Singh replies. So the next lines in that Shandana, in Slok Mala Nova, they're actually by Guru Gobind Singh. So in some of the Prathan groups it says Mahalla Daswa in there, or Patshain Dasvi. So those 2 Pankti and Slok Mala Nova actually Guru Gobind Singh's answer back. ठीक है? So sorry I can't do it off by heart because I don't want to get them wrong. But then afterwards, Guru Tegh Bahadur, the next Pankti Maharaj says, Sadhu Rehyo Guru Gobind. Yeah? Sadhu Rehyo, Sadhu kaun hai? Bhai Gurditta. Yeah? Rehyo Guru Gobind, Guru Gobind reh gaye. Yeah? So Maharaj is actually saying after those Pankti that the Guru exists and the Sadhu still exists, so Sikhi will still continue. Because these Shaktiyas still exist. ठीक है? So that happens, So this all goes down at Chandni Chowk in Delhi. And so Bhai Mati Das 1.5 facing the Guru, Japji Sahib, Bhai Sati Das burnt alive, wrapped in cotton wool, facing the Guru, Bhai Dayalla boiled alive, So these people, these Guru Sikhs didn't falter at all, So it's easy for us to say like what we would do in this situation. Would we be able to take the torture? That's the truth. We would be able to read Gurbani at that point. And so Guru Sahib's given these options in terms of attaining Shaheedi, and Maharaj says no to all these things, But Maharaj also says to them, they show them a thread, they say you won't even be able to cut this thread, and they can't even cut that thread. So Maharaj just show a bit of Shakti, say you can't even cut this thread, you think you can take my cease, you can't take my head. So in our chronicles, what we believe as Guru Sikhs, certain historians might not believe this, we believe Guru Sahib's head comes off voluntarily. The executioner doesn't take off the head. ठीक है? So the cease actually disappears. So what they say is the cease came off, but then back to the scenario. There's been 9 Gurus. There's been 200 years of Sikhi. Yet in Delhi, in a crowded place, in a public execution, 3 Guru Sikhs are made Shaheed. And the next is the Guru. Yeah? And no one spoke up. No one spoke up. So jad prashad ਵੰਡਦੇ ਆ ਜਦ ਰਸ ਮਲਾਈ ਜਲਦੀ ਲੰਗਰ ਚ ਉਦੋਂ ਖਾਣ ਨੂੰ ਠੀਕ ਆ ਪਰ ਜਦ ਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਲੋੜ ਪਈ ਉਦੋਂ ਕਿਸ ਨੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਕੁਰਬਾਨੀ yeah and now that's a reflection on us if we talk about Khalsa Raj and things like that we're the ones sitting in Chandni Chowk because if we'd done it then we would have got Khalsa Raj now yeah so there's some collective like guilt as well because that's why we're still back here we've still not done our mission so the thing is Chandni Chowk that happens, so Maharaj has already sent the Nariyal for Guru Gobind Singh. When the Shanda comes back of Slok Mala Nova, so the Gurgadi is already sent by Gurditta. So the Nariyal, so it's like they give a coconut and they give other things as part of the process. So that's already done. The Gurgadi is already sent from there. And when the cease is taken, when they do the execution a bit, the cease comes off, but then a massive storm starts. And when the storm starts, there's confusion. No one knows what's happened. And the cease of Nami Pasha goes into the hands of Bhai Jeta Ji. So the cease goes into Bhai Jeta's hand. Bhai Jeta is the first ultra marathon runner we've got in the Sikh history. Yeah? So Bhai Jeta then takes, so this is Cease Ganj Gurdwara modern day, so this is where the execution takes place. So that's the Gurdwara outside, this is inside, So the actual Asthan of Cease Ganj, where they say is underneath. So it's there. So it should be on the next slide, 1 second. So that's actually the Asthan of where they say Maharaj gave Shaheedi, where the Ramallah Sahib is, So that little handle, that's the door to it, to go inside. Now this is opposite the Gurdwara. So this Asthan, a lot of people would miss off. So if you're standing outside the Gurdwara, front on to Cease Ganj, just on your right. More than likely you'll park your car on the right anyway, or you'll go into the car park on that side. So this is outside, opposite the Gurdwara. So this is actually the Asthan by Mati Das, Sati Das, and by the Allah got tortured to death. So this is opposite the Gurdwara. So that's there as well as a Nishani. So Bhai Jeta, he was sent from Anandpur Sahib by Guru Gobind Singh to be there to witness the Shaheedi. He then gets a cease, and then literally he runs for 2 days. He stays one night and he gets to Anandpur Sahib from Delhi. So if you think about it, if you drove from Anandpur Sahib to Delhi now, today, it takes you minimum 6 hours to 6 to 9 hours in a car. Yeah, so Bhai Jeta, he's renamed as Bhai Jeevan Singh as well, so he's got 2 names, but he literally runs the whole way, and he doesn't run on the road either. He hides and does like country routes and stuff like that, so he's not found out with the Sisana. And then the people that Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur had promised to go to their houses, Bhai Jeta takes the cease to those houses. Yeah? So those houses where Maharaj had promised to go and didn't go, that cease then goes there to those houses on the way to stop off at Guru Sikh's houses and things like that. And then those Guru Sikhs are shocked, like, Maharaj promised us, but we didn't realise Maharaj would come in this form with just the cease. So that happens as well. He gets to Kirtpur Sahib, Bhai Jeta does. And when he gets to Kirtpur Sahib, Guru Gobind Singh comes with a palki to receive the cease. And they take the palki on a Char Sahib to Anandpur Sahib, and there's a Gurdwara called Cease Ganj there. So it's at Cease Ganj that they do the sanskar of the cease there. And then Bhai Jeta's given this title, Rangreta Guru Ka Beta. So saying you are the Guru's son, because what you did, this accomplishment. Back in Delhi, when the cease came to Bhai Jeta's hands, the body was picked up by Lakhi Shah Vanjara. So Lakhi Shah Vanjara was a Guru Sikh who had a bit of money in Delhi, and what he did, he knew, so again, these things are planned in stealth. He knew the Guru Sahib's Shaheedi is going to happen, but he knew he didn't have the power to intervene. So rather than intervening, what he did is he got numerous carts lined up near Chandni Chowk. So he'd planned to try taking the body of the Guru Sahib on one of the carts. So when the storm starts and no one knows what's going on after the Shaheedi, he then gets Maharaj's body, puts it onto one of the carts, and then just takes it to his house. And so what he did is he literally put Maharaj's body into his house and just lit his house on fire. Okay? So that's what happened there. So that's Rakabganj Gurdwara today. So Rakabganj, that's this Gurdwara. So this is in Delhi as well. So that's the outside of the Gurdwara. And that's inside. Again, similar to Cease Ganj, where Maharaj Prakash is, this is underneath the Prakash Sthan. Okay? So that's where Maharaj's body was, sanskar was done. So Rakabganj is like the usual place, like for weddings and things like that. They got like big halls and smargams and other things happen in Delhi. So if there's a big program in Delhi, they do it at Rakabganj. Now Rakabganj, back in the day, if I'm factually correct, I might be incorrect. In 1984, when Indira Gandhi gets assassinated, the Shastra that Guru Gobind Singh gave to Mata Sahib Kaur, there were 5 Shastra. So Mata Sahib Kaur had said to Guru Gobind Singh that when I do your darshan every day, that's how I eat. But if you're sending me to Delhi, how am I going to eat? Because I'm not going to get your darshan. So Guru Gobind Singh then gave her 5 Shastra and said, do darshan these Shastra and then you can eat. So that's my bhog to the food. Those 5 Shastra, if I'm correct, were at Rakabganj in 1984. And what they say is the mobs actually attacked Rakabganj Gurdwara. Yeah, so the way you got to view it, even the Indian state or the Hindu majority, Guru Tegh Bahadur saved Hinduism as a faith, but then majority Hindus attacked these Gurdwara back in 1984. Yeah, so we're not trying to create hatred between any community. I've got a lot of Hindu friends, but this is the history, this is what happened. Now the thing is, at Rakabganj Gurdwara, what they say is Nihang Singh was there and he just picked up the Shastra, or 1 or 2 of them, to try hiding them. So to this day, 2 of the Shastra are missing out of the 5. The other 3 are now at Mata Sundar Kaur Gurdwara in Delhi. So when you go to Mata Sundar Kaur Gurdwara, it's near Humayun's tomb. When you go there, they're behind Maharaj's Prakash. And when you ask the Granthis, they don't even know the history of the Shastra, because I've just been there literally a month ago. Yeah? So the thing is, if you ask them, they won't know anything. They won't know they were even in Rakabganj. They won't know anything. And you could even miss the Shastra, because they're in a frame behind Maharaj's Swarup on the wall. But you could do Parkarama and just miss them. You wouldn't even know that they're there. But those Shastra are still there as well. So what happened afterwards? So Sri Guru Gobind Singh gets the cease, does a sanskar at this place, Cease Ganj in Anandpur Sahib. So this is an old photo, that is. So the modern Gurdwara might look a bit different from that. But inside, it's literally, that's inside, Anna. So that's where they did the sanskar of the Sikhs, Anna. So we just go back one slide, Anna. So what Guru Gobind Singh says, he says, when my father gave Shaheedi, where were the Sikhs then? So ਦੋ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਕੁਰਬਾਨੀਆਂ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ, 3 ਸ਼ਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ, 2 ਨੇ ਸੀਸ ਸਾਂਭਿਆ, ਧਰ ਸਾਂਭੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ. That's 5 Guru Sikhs, Anna. And others, like others saying, and Bhai Harjinder, they had their duties, but that's 7 in total, isn't it? But where's the rest of the qawm? So Guru Gobind Singh says, where were they? And then Guru Gobind Singh says, I'll make a qawm that will stand out in a crown in the future. Because my Sikh will never be able to hide. So तीसरा पंथ में चलाना है, and they'll be unique with our dastara and our case dara, है ना? And that dastar includes the bibiyan, because if a bibi doesn't wear a dastar of some form or a patka at least, like how can you recognise that she's a Sikh or a non-Sikh? There's no differentiation, is there really? So that's it, that's the talk. Oh, 1 minute before 8:30, we're on time. So any questions? So the 350 years will be in November of the Shaheedi. So all these are stands. So in terms of the Shaheedi, it will be celebrated at Seesganj primarily, Rakabganj on a bigger level, because Seesganj it's very hard physically because the Gurdwara is quite big, but it gets really busy in terms of traffic and stuff. So they'll celebrate it more at Rakabganj in Delhi. In Punjab, they'll do it at Baba Bakala, more so. There'll still be a Guru Ke Mail as well, because these stands are joined with Guru Tegh Bahadur. But what I would say to you in the room, from now to that point, as Gur Sikhs, we should do some form of Nitnem for this Shatabdi, for this 350 years. Be that learning the Arth of Salok Mala Nova, be that learning Salok Mala Nova off by heart, or doing jap of Nome Pasha's Bani from this point on. There's 59 Shabs, 60th is Salok Mala Nova. That's up to you, but we do all these other stupid challenges on TikTok and whatever it is. I don't know what we're on now, yeah? Why can't you do one for this, Anna? And you could do something around 350 as well. Yeah? So that's up to you. You could run 350 miles until then. I don't know, yeah? You could try, like, I'm going to try Bhai Jeta, yeah? You have to use the hand properly, yeah, to do that, but it is possible. Hanji Baba Ji.
What's the distance approximately between the 2 Gurdwara sites in Delhi, Seesganj site and the Rakabganj site?
Google Maps. They're not far. They're not far. They're not far. But all it is because Delhi's so busy. Like if you drove in a car and you got no traffic, you could probably do it in 10 minutes. Do you get what I mean? But Rakabganj is literally next to Bangla Sahib. ठीक है? Seesganj people go less to because it's just if you get stuck in traffic going to Seesganj, you just an hour's gone, Anna. So that's why people go less there. Rakabganj is easier to go to and like from the airport and whatever and get out from Bangla Sahib and stuff. But yeah, they're not really far. Physically, they're not that far. Hanji, anyone else? I've got some announcements for some people. Yeah? No? Any more questions? No? Hanji, Babaji.
Air conditioning's on now, so we can stay a little bit longer.
Huh? What was that? Sorry?
The air conditioning's just turned on, we can stay a little bit longer now.
Okay. So you can do the VR afterwards as well if you want. But so Seek to Inspire camp is in a few weeks. If you want to apply for that. You got the Singhs camp, Cause camp, Sikhi camp, Khalsa camp. Go to a camp. And if you don't, make your own camp. ठीक है? And help out at all the kids' camps. Hanji. No, I'm not going to mention that. I said all the kids' camps. As you get if we go SNA and this and that, we're never going to finish. Hanji.
When's your book coming out?
So, have you